Yusek Andres, sabi nyo lang kanina na one of the bottlenecks yung mga whistleblowers, no, na I think they're held in contempt here. Well, ang Senate naman has been very cooperative, no? In fact, mabilis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any request from any agencies to pursue justice, fact-finding, ang Senate is ready to cooperate, no? So I hope that this is not.
Yes, I wanted to acknowledge the support of the Senate in allowing us access to the witnesses whenever we request. But again, they have limited opportunity because they are only allowed to go to NBI or to the DOJ for the fact-finding. But they are claiming that we need to go to this place to get documents, we need to go to our homes to get these documents, we need to talk to some people to strengthen our position, but we cannot do that. That's why we are formally, we will soon file something formally that once we have accepted all of these whistleblowers as protected witnesses, without according them state witness status, we be allowed to be responsible for their protection in our safe houses so that we can
as long as
more
those
expeditiously.
whistleblowers can substantiate their claim and they can prove that going to their homes or their offices in order for them to substantiate their testimonies, then I think the Senate will cooperate, no, in order to pursue the truth and gather evidence.
We are in the midst of an in-depth investigation, and I am very confident that this will bear fruit. In fact, some of the whistleblowers have already surrendered. You cannot imagine their own CPs, their own cell phones for forensic investigation.
Yeah. And just to put this topic, just to go to the next topic before we end, ang importante ngayon, bilis Secretary. No? I think the public is growing really impatient to the investigation. Nag-investigate kami dito, nag-investigate kayo, nag-investigate ICI, House nag-investigate, but wala pang nakukulong. No? Let alone, rinig ko kanina, wala rin na-freeze na assets ng mga politicians. So, the public is growing impatient. No? So we need to really do something meaningful and drastic. Hindi lang yung sinasabi nga, borrowing the words of Senator Marcoleta, yung mga sapsap at ano isa? Botete.
We can only go to the higher level, Mr. Chairman, with the assistance of the whistleblowers.
Because ang tao rin, alam nila kung sino sapsap, sino botete.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alam rin nila yan. We cannot underestimate the public. They know. No?
Mr. Chair, ulitin mo nga yung sinabi mo, Yusek, para marinig ni...
I heard loud and
Meron
clear,
ka sinabi
Your
kanina
Honor.
eh.
Yes.
We can only do this, kaya mo.
We can only do this with the support of the whistleblowers.
Kita mo na.
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
completely agree.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. Itong personality, kausap na nila. How do you now delineate or divide the line between the two?
Mr. Chair, even the Department of Public Works and Highways, which is the agency which has a lot of investigations to be conducted on, we also coordinate with them, no? And in fact, we even secure documents from them, try to get and gather evidence that will be used in the cases that we build up. Now, we are aware of the investigations being conducted by the Department of Public Works and Highways, and that is also the reason why when we sit down and meet, no, with our counterparts from the National Bureau of Investigation, the DPWH representatives are also there, just so that we are aware of the investigations that they are conducting or looking into, the personalities who are involved, and we compare our notes and exchange notes. In fact, we get some help from them, and they also secure some documents from us, just to make sure that we're not tackling the same case which is being investigated by both agencies, Your Honor.
In this manner, I heard you earlier na merong tao ang ICI sa DOJ. Doon sa, I would assume doon sa task force nyo. Just to make sure that they're in the loop on real time.
They are not assigned with the Department of Justice, but they do attend, and we notify and inform them every time there's a meeting of the task force of the Department of Justice and the National Bureau of Investigation. Yusek Andres will be able to expound on it, sir.
Yeah, in the same manner, DOJ also has a representative in the ICI to know which items are they investigating, which personalities are they looking at.
Earlier, sir, Secretary Vida mentioned that we have also prior coordination with the ICI, as in fact ICI has also requested for assistance from the department to have our prosecutors help out, no, in the technical working groups. The purpose of which is also for us to have access and knowledge of the investigations which are being conducted, the witnesses who are being interviewed, to see if they can also be of help in the cases that are being developed by the Department of Justice.
So go ahead.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, just to put some context on the matter, even prior to the constitution of the ICI, because this is our main mandate under the DOJ, and we tasked the National Bureau of Investigation to do the initial investigations. We already directed all our regional directors of the NBI to conduct investigation on their respective areas. So even before the ICI was constituted, we already had some groundwork. That's why we were able to file 5 cases immediately with the Ombudsman, referring to 5 cases in Bulacan, because we did this. Now, when the ICI commenced its investigation, and we gathered that they have already determined, with the help of the AFP and the police officers, the PNP, that there are 421 ghost projects, and they have identified the exact places and the contracts covering this. We likewise disseminated the 421 to the projects, to the regional offices of NBI to do follow-up work with the DPWH. So even before the ICI was constituted, our office already took the initiative to do the investigation because we believe it's our primary mandate. And even the meetings with the DPWH were already conducted to understand the work process and document approval flow, so that this will be the basis of the malversation cases, anti-graft cases. And we have practically completed it. And if I may actually explain the challenge that we are having presently, it's actually access to the whistleblowers. Because they are in detention because of the contempt charges, we are not given ready access, and we have to coordinate. It would be most helpful for the DOJ to complete its investigation if the witness protection program already admits them as protected witnesses, and we can have direct access to them at any given time, and they will have access to their own documents and people that they need to talk to complete the investigation. So we are hoping that when we process the documents of the possible whistleblowers who can be admitted formally, because they are just now provisionally accepted, the custody would be allowed to the WPP, and that would enhance the case build-up process.
So, to date, ilan ang na-file na cases pertaining to the flood control? Ilan ang na-file
with the Ombudsman? I think there are 5.
There are 5
Okay. And these are all
ghost projects.
the ones
Ghost
in
Bulacan.
All 5 are the ones
That's correct.
pertaining to
That's correct.
Bulacan. Okay. And then are you still investigating the others that came out?
Yes.
Yung 421 and yung 421, gusto lang yun. Iba pa yung substandard.
Yes.
Na may mga substandard.
We have a steady stream of completed investigations that we are now filing before the Ombudsman for the conduct of preliminary investigation. And the Ombudsman may choose to refer the preliminary investigation to the DOJ as consistent with the memorandum of agreement mentioned by OIC BIDA.
Are you also investigating, yung sinabi nga kanina ni Senator Marcoleta, yung mga politicians involved? Is that part of your
Yes, Your Honor,
investigation?
we are following through on the leads given by the whistleblowers, the congressmen involved, and even some senators involved. And we are pursuing the case, but we are very circumspect about this. We already filed, through the assistance of the AMLC, freeze orders for those we believe should already be prosecuted in court. And we have secured 6 freeze orders already. That includes the officials of DPWH, some of the contractors, and some of those involved in the kickback mechanism.
Because that's an observation of mine is yung ICI, marami silang pinapatawag ng mga politicians, pinapatawag ng mga elected officials. I think yung kanilang angulo is more on the source of the funds. No? I think that is their angle. Based on my observation, and this is purely based on my observation, is that the difference between where DOJ is pursuing and between the ICI is pursuing in terms of angles?
I believe the latitude of ICI is wider. But for us, we do it systematically. We go to the process first. We understand the deviations of the process committed by the DPWH officials, and then this will lead to testimonies of possible proponents who intervened, why projects are allocated budget and ghost projects were implemented. And then only from there, we will conduct financial investigations. This is something that we have to do systematically, because once these individuals, the DPWH contracts are investigated, the names will now be subjected to financial investigation. And when there is a financial trail establishing links to the possible proponents, then we move ahead to the next steps.
And you said earlier that tuloy-tuloy yung investigation nyo
Yes,
ngayon.
Your Honor.
So I just want to understand. I'm sure a lot of the public wants to understand. Saan ba yung line between the ICI and DOJ? No, that's the point I'm trying to make, because the ICI, like you said, has a wider latitude. In fact, based on the media reports, they also interview politicians. They also get information from elected officials. So it seems to me that their scope is wider to include the source of the fund, no? Allegedly. No? So that's I'm trying to understand
Yeah,
where's
but-
the delineation in this case, because we also want to make sure that there's efficiency, no? In terms of pursuing these cases.
Yeah,
No?
as earlier explained, the ICI representative sits in at times to observe what we are doing. And we just try to avoid duplication so that we make more efficient use of resources.
And also conflict.
Obviously,
I think
yes,
the
yes,
conflict
yes, Your
will
Honor.
not be fruitful for government. The conflict will be, in fact, beneficial to those who committed the crimes, kasi conflict creates confusion as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right. So let's leave it at that. No, I just want to make sure that there's that the coordination and the delineation is very clear between these two bodies, which are very important in these times. No? Senator Marclet.
Thank you, Chair. Prosecutor, sabi mo kanina meron kayong na-identify na 421 ghost flood control projects.
It's not us who identified it, Mr. Chair. It's the Department of Public Works and Highways. It was-
421.
Sila po ang nag-identify, hindi po ang Department of Justice.
And,
Or with the help of the ICI po.
No, what I'm saying is, were you able to confirm that number na 421 talaga?
No,
of
sir.
course, they can always identify how much or how many. Pero na-confirm po ba ninyo?
Hindi pa po namin ako-confirm kasi what we're doing is we're having that information validated, but the numbers can even increase, sir.
Kasi po, kung di ako nagkakamali, there are about 10,000 flood control projects. So, kung 421 ang sinasabi nila, could be less, could be more.
That is correct, sir.
Ang importante, tama naman po yung medyo naguguluhan kami kasi paano yung delineation nga naman, ano? Yung isa nagpapaka-independent, pero they rely most on your prosecutors also and some of your agents. At baka nga naman pag walang proper delineation, at saka kung nagkaroon ng conflict, sino po yung, kunyari, yung findings po ninyo, mangyayari yun eh. There could be conflict in outcome. O, sino magpiprevail? Kayo po, yung ICI?
Hindi, it would be the Office of the Ombudsman, sir. Sir, may I make a clarification po dun sa tanong po ninyo?
Hindi kasi bago nyo ibigay sa ombudsman, eh, di ba kayong dalawa, sabi nyo, nagkakaroon kayo ng coordination eh. So,
Yes, sir.
how can it be coordination kung independent dapat sila? Yun ang punto eh. They should be independent no matter what. Kayo sana ay maaring tumutulong kayo in another capacity but in a manner that they can still maintain their independence. Hindi ganun ang nakikita namin eh. Baka nga ang mangyayari, conflict pa nga and then duplication or even conflict. Yun po yung sinasabi ni Chairman. And pwede ba kayong mag-file kagad diretso sa korte bypassing the ombudsman?
It would appear that we could, sir, because there is a memorandum of agreement which allows us to handle and investigate cases involving individuals, salary grade below 27.
It's a memorandum of agreement between the OJ and the ombudsman?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Okay. Kailan po nangyari yun? Anong date yun?
2012 po.
2012?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yusek Andres, ano ba yun? Sabi nyo kanina, yung ibang nagawa nyo na naka-freeze kayo ng assets ng mga politicians. Sino-sino na pong mga politicians ang na-freeze ang assets?
I can give you the names, Your Honor, privately, but the majority of those subject of the freeze orders are
Bakit
not.
privately? Can you not divulge them?
I do not have right now
Okay.
copies of that. And if I may clarify, I think the freeze orders have not touched politicians. I mean government officials like DPWH officials
So sa-
are already part of the freeze orders.
Sa social media kasi nakikita namin, may mga politicians na
Wala pa po.
na-freeze.
Wala pa po.
Wala talaga.
Government officials, meaning DPWH officials, yes.
O,
But
teka muna.
elected officials,
Yun
I
ang
do not-
sinasabi kong mga sapsap at saka butete lang eh.
We have to be systematic
Ang palagi
about
kong sinasabi, we should get to the bottom of this. Yung mastermind, yung pinakamalaking isda, yun ang dapat nating
We are
makuha.
being systematic and circumspect about this, Your Honor, but we are leading to that.
You're very optimistic, ha?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Pero tama nga, kailangan sabihin mo kay OIC Secretary na alisin na yung restitution na yun, tama nga na. Nakita mo, naghihirap siya sapagkat ayaw ninyong ilagay sa witness protection. Magagamit niya pala eh. It will expedite his job eh.
Yes.
And last na lang, sir. Yun pong OGCC. Sir, meron po kasing ang dami po nagtatanong sa akin about the joint ventures entered by certain private enterprises with the water districts. Siguro po yung mapunta sa akin, may 8 na po siguro and counting, you know. In Paniki, Tarlac, meron po akong personal knowledge dyan because I'm a resident of Paniki, Tarlac. So in one of their task force meeting, nag-attend po ako not as a member of the House of Representatives then, but as a resident of a barangay in Paniki, Tarlac. Napagkayarihan po na nag-request po yata yung task force na bigyan yung task force ng copy ng joint venture agreement. Hindi po nagbigay yung private enterprise. Ang tanging ginawa po nila at nakita ko sa report ay sinulatan ng Water District, Paniki Water District, ang opisina ninyo at saka yung opisina ng LUA. But they avoided. I don't know if that was deliberate. Can they refuse? Meaning to say the Water District or even the private enterprise refuse the request for a copy of joint venture agreement?
I think the joint venture agreement has a confidentiality clause, Your Honor. But we have expressed an opinion in the OGCC that that confidentiality clause cannot prevail over the provision of the law that allows public access, Your Honor, to the joint venture agreement.
That position paper, sir, was made.
It's an opinion that we provided.
Was it made public for the joint venture parties to know na meron pala kayong ginawang...
No, it's a opinion that we provided a water district, Your Honor.
The water districts were provided?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, pwedeng makakuha ng kopya ng opinion na yun at one time or another kung meron po kayo. Kung maski na... Kung may kopya kayo o pwedeng...
We'll send a copy.
Salamat po. Mr. Chair, salamat.